breast here. I'm gonna trim away the little cartilagey bits here. Looking at my breast, they look pretty nice. I've got a little bit here with the nerve ending. If I had a boning knife, that would be even better for trimming. This is gonna be my pile leftover. I'm next gonna look at this extra fat here on the side. I'm gonna trim that away. Any little sneaky bit of fat right there goes away. And then if I had any cartilage on the side, I definitely want to get rid of that. A little bit of fat is not a problem on your chicken breast. A lot of bit of fat and or cartilage underneath there is not desirable. So that guy looks reasonably good. Let's do this next guy, just kind of smoothing it out, kind of scraping away from the breast just to make sure I'm not removing any more of that breast than I need to. A little slicey poo. And then we have our nice clean side. I'll do that same thing here. And so this has a little bit of that breastbone on there that was separated. So I'm gonna get that out of there because otherwise that cartilage is not gonna be delicious. And even still, I have a little bit there, so I need to trim a little bit more because that's gonna be like a mouthfeel that's undesirable. The nerve ending there is not too bad. Because I'm a maniac, I'm just gonna pound this with my hand, just a little bit, because really this chicken is already relatively flat. Because there's a lot of moisture on here, I am going to put that on my paper towel and pat these ladies dry. And then, oh no, I'm flopping it around. Oh my God, and standard seasoning, do you mind get me a little bit of standard seasoning?
Right there.
Yeah, gotse danka. So we got the standard seasoning here, and so if you'll open that, Mr. Acha, or there you go, look at you with your thing, because I don't want to get, and so will you give me a little, Archer, will you give me a little pile of salt here on the side? That should have been part of my mise en place. Inexcusable, chef. Nevertheless, now I can season. I think that's good, and so that's a little seasoning there. And again, from above, we're gonna make it rain. Nice seasoning on there. I already put some seasoning in my flour, so everything gets all of that salty love. And again, I'm doing like a little from above. Ooh, that got a little wet there. So I'm just gonna smear that to make sure it's Steven. Now I can go into my seasoned flour. So seasoning on the chicken, seasoning on the flour. This scrap again is gonna go into stock, so it shows I'm utilizing my full product. This is gonna be the pan that I then finish my chicken in once I'm done searing. So now that I've got this, now we're gonna walk over to the station over here. And so here we are, walking over here. Pony up next to my friend Savannah. And then, no and then. So I'm gonna get this pan nice and hot. I guess I didn't imagine, this is part of the mental mise en place and or physical mise en place, as I did not grab tongs for myself. So while this pan is heating up, I'm gonna go grab a pair of tongs. Be right back.
She'll be back. Chef Julie, I miss you. Ooh, look at our curry.
All right. And no sports bra. Sorry, that's inappropriate.
We need the queen.
All right, so nice hot pan. It's been heating for a solid 30 seconds there. Now we're gonna add our butter in there. And again, butter is your friend. It's a lot, I don't want all that butter in my sauce, but it's gonna be perfect for my chicken searing. So I've got here on my chicken, I've got the side where the tenderloin was. You can see the little divot. This is the nice smooth side, so that's what goes down. I'm gonna place it in my pan and flop it away from me. Shake out the excess flour. And again, I'm going to take presentation side down first and then flop away from me. Give that pan just a little shaky poo. I can get rid of my flour.
So it's divot side up?
Yeah, divot side up,
okay.
Presentation side down. So, so once I get my chicken, we're just gonna go at it. So I have full heat here, you guys, right? But as soon as I start to see caramelization on my chicken breast, I'm gonna turn that heat down so that I can control it. But in the meantime, this lovely cushion of buttery love is going to prevent that from, I'm gonna get that gorgeous kind of sheet of golden brown on there. If I start to see that my flour, I can already start to see my flour that's come off of my chicken starting to get caramelized. So now I want to bump this down just a wee little bit so it's all within my control. We're searing, we're not trying to blacken this. I can take a little squeaky peeky if I wanted to. It's still quite blonde, and so we'll give it just a little shake, make sure everything is moving. So you can see that this 10-inch saute pan is the perfect size for 2 chicken breasts. they start to shrink up really quickly as soon as they go in the pan. I like to move my chicken around a little bit too, because that way I don't have hot spots on my in my pan. So even now as it's cooking, you can see that chicken is starting to kind of curl under the as in protest. So I can take a peek when I'm getting a nice golden brown, and I don't need to get it much more than this, but I do want to get a little bit darker golden brown on there. I've got my receiving pan here, and I've got all of my mise en place for my sauce here, as well as the utensil that I need for that sauce. Because this is television, I'm going to crank it up and sear this a little bit faster. So we're getting nice golden brown. And then I think that's not too bad. I could have gone a little bit more. And so again, look at me talking about little naked spots next to high spots on the chicken. But for the most part, we've got a nice golden brown sheet here. And so now I'm going to move that chicken back into those spots that didn't have chicken on it a minute ago. And get just a little bit of caramelization in there. This chicken breast is still really, really raw. And so the presentation side is nicely seared. The non-presentation side doesn't need to be seared quite as well. I can see my flour is starting to get caramelized. So I'm going to pull that off of the heat. I'm going to kill my flame. My chicken is going to go onto my saute pan. And now I'm going to go, because for purposes of television, I'm going to go pop this into the oven really quickly. 350 degrees, low fan.
Low fan, 350. Wow. Over caramelized. Oh wow. She's multiplying. Now, do you think that's over caramelized? I think it might be over.
Yeah. So that'll probably take another 4 or 5 minutes, thinking new caramelization, but I'm still nice and golden brown, so I'm okay. So I'm going to do my shallot and my garlic. I'm okay with the amount of fat that's in there. That started to get a little on the over caramelized side. I could, whoa, that's not really what I meant to do, but that's right. We'll have edit that in post. So we'll add our shallot and our garlic. And you guys, I am doubling the sauce recipe because I want to, I'm taking this for dinner tonight. So again, look how hot this pan is, which means that I need to get my act together as far as my wine. It needs to be ready to go. So we're really only sweating this. I don't need caramelization, so next goes my wine. Stop that cooking process. Deglazes that pan. We're going to reduce that down to offset or almost dry. So we're not that far from that process. I'm getting all that love off the side of the pan there. Nice caramelization. We're almost there with our au sec. And we know the difference between au sec and au snap. So caramelization, so I'm going to go in with my chicken stock now. And then work up all of that fond on the sides and all of that stuff. All of this little love, you guys, on the side of that pan. Those are little drips of that lovely fond, which is going to make everything taste better. So the more I can kind of get that back down into my sauce, all the better. So my chicken is finishing in the oven, but for your practical purposes, I would actually get this sauce completely made, with exception of adding the herbs to it, and then fire your chicken just so that you guys are in control. Come back with a little sanitizer towel to clean up after myself because I'm not a maniac. So working nice and clean is important. So if I'm getting some caramelization on the side of my pan, again, I can kind of tip, get that love back down into my sauce, scrape off the sides. All right, we're reducing down. All right, so I need another cutting board. Do you mind, Miss Alexa, grabbing me another cutting board? And you can put it right over there by my the one I started with. So we are reducing. And it'll take a minute. So probably we're gonna have to end up editing this because it would just take too long probably to show the full reduction of the cream and all of that stuff.